We just caught the Liberals lying to us about not hiring temporary foreign workers, and the paper trail proves it. You know the old saying, sunlight is the best disinfectant? Well, the Liberals have built themselves a very expensive sunshade. Here's the story. Rebel News filed an access to information request with Employment and Social Development Canada, ESDC. We asked for copies of any requests from government departments or crown corporations to hire temporary foreign workers since 2023. Now, we can do this work because you generously donate at rebelinvestigates.com, so thank you for that. But it was a pretty simple question that we asked, and the answer we got back, dated October 3rd, 2025, was this. A search of the records under the control of ESDC has revealed that no records exist in response to your request. No records exist. None. Signed by a bureaucrat. Case closed, right? Well, wrong, because a month later, literally a month later, the Liberals were forced to answer the exact same question in Parliament through an order paper question from Conservative MP Michael Guglielmin. It's order paper question Q311 for those of you following along at home. Now, when lying to Parliament becomes a criminal matter, suddenly those non-existent records, they just magically appear, like out of thin air. Here's what they were hiding. According to the government's own written reply, released November 3rd, 2025, multiple federal agencies and crown corporations had been approved to hire temporary foreign workers, using the same old system that private businesses are using to put a generation of young Canadians out of work by importing cheap foreign labor. Let's go through the list, shall we? The CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, approved 10 positions, including software developers, PR specialists, web programmers, and even announcers and broadcasters. So the taxpayer-funded propaganda arm of the government was literally importing on-air talent through the temporary foreign worker program to make Canadian content for Canadians in the interest of Canadian culture. Sure. The Business Development Bank of Canada, the same crown lender that claims to support Canadian entrepreneurs, hired foreign consultants, cybersecurity specialists, and software engineers. Public Services and Procurement Canada brought in 21 foreign translators and interpreters. Canada Post hired a foreign senior manager in construction and utilities. The Bank of Canada, the same central bank that lectures working Canadians about inclusive prosperity, brought in 34 foreign workers, mostly economists and policy researchers. Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada approved foreign biologists and scientists, and then it gets worse. The Canadian Armed Forces, yes, the military, plagued by retention and recruitment problems, approved 62 foreign positions, including commissioned officers, pilots, and combat members. Environment and Climate Change Canada, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, the National Research Council, the Public Sector Pension Investment Board, and others all approved foreign hires. In total, over 150 positions across more than a dozen taxpayer-funded agencies. Now the cover-up, of course, let's get to that. When Rebel News asked through access to information, we were flat out told that no records existed. But when Parliament demanded the truth under the legal weight of an order paper question, the Liberals had to cough the documents up. This isn't a clerical error. It's a conspiracy of lies. It's proof that access to information in Canada has become a political gatekeeping tool, one that shuts down journalists and the public that the government doesn't like. And while they're hiding documents from reporters like me, they're spending $1.63 million of your money fighting the Information Commissioner in court, the very watchdog whose job it is to make these people hand over those records to people like me. The Liberals lie, then they lawyer up, and then they bill you for the privilege of it all. But the Liberals just didn't lie to Rebel News. We're just the vehicle for all of this information. They lied to Canadians about who they hire, how they spend, and how far they'll go to protect the narrative. The only reason we know the truth now is because Parliament forced it out of them. And that's why Rebel News keeps filing these ATIPs. Because no matter how many times these people stall, redact, or pretend that no records exist, every time they say that, it's a big flashing red light to me that something they really don't want you to see is hiding in the dark. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. This research was made possible thanks to your generous crowd-funded donations to a special paper trail investigations website, rebelinvestigates.com. We'll never take a penny from the government to do the work that we do to hold them to account. So I'm just so grateful that you continue to donate to help me do this important work. Again, it's rebelinvestigates.com.